just waiting for this one. All right. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful Thursday night. As always, my name is Junior. I usually, this is my YouTube page, and you can also see this on the Facebook Live page. As always, I like to begin with, thanking the people that are working out there right now, doctors, janitors, scientists, just everybody, that's essential right now and is working during this time right now. I know it's a little weird, but I mean, we're almost there, man. Hopefully everybody just keeps doing what they're doing. As always, wash your hands before every meal and after every meal. Always, cough on your elbow. Always, carry some hand sanitizer. That thing does miracles. And always social distance, 6 feet apart, and hopefully everybody's just doing good. And for the ones that are quarantined right now, hopefully you guys are staying safe. Hopefully you guys are keeping the mind sharp, taking care of your bodies, enjoying the time with your loved ones right now. And again, same thing too. Wash your hands before every meal and after every meal. And always just make sure that, just practice social distancing and just follow the guidelines. And the quicker we all do this, the quicker we go back to normal lives, which is, I'm sure, what we all want. And again, with everything going on in the world right now, I do want to give out, my thoughts and prayers to the tragic events that happened, last Monday. And hopefully everybody out there is being safe, and just everywhere and across the nation right now. I think we all just need to come together right now, and hopefully we can just learn to just accept one another. And hopefully, these videos kind of bring you, a little bit of calmness, a little bit of laughter, which is what we all need right now. So just stay safe, everybody, and just respect one another. So today is actually my first installment of Throwback Thursday. And by the title that you are seeing, it is The Raiders and Rams, the Tale of Two Cities. For the people that don't know, it wasn't a little while ago that both of these teams called somewhere else home. And starting next year, they're both going to move into, beautiful stadiums, state-of-the-art stadiums. And I think it didn't do no justice until we go down memory lane and talk about their times, in St. Louis and their times in Oakland. And I have nobody better than my brother here, who actually, me and him, our first game together was the Rams versus the Raiders on September 10th, or September 19th, 2010, which was in a few months. It's going to be 10 years ago. And a lot of things happened between then and now. And I would like to bring my brother in now. Big bro, you there?
I'm here, brother. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can they hear him? Yeah, we all good? All right. I think we are as high as we can be. Yeah, I'm as high as I can be, but we're good. Yeah, we can hear you, bro. We are good to go. So I know what you're going to say. You don't remember a lot because you were pretty hammered, but we're going to try our best to make you remember this time, because 10 years ago, let's see what happened 10 years ago. Angela wasn't even a thought of. Omar was still in elementary, and Juliet was just born like that 8 months prior.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, she was 8 months old, and I don't think they made the trip with us, right? They did.
They did. Yes, they did, because that was, everybody went from Omar to Juliet to Yvette. And again, Angela wasn't even a thought of yet, and we all just made the trip.
Awesome time. And if I remember correctly, we won.
Yeah, they won by a score of 17-14. That was the final score. It was a Bruce Gradkowski to a Lewis Murphy touchdown that sealed the game.
Nice. Gradkowski was the quarterback at that time?
Well, remember, Jason Campbell started, but then he kind of got hurt, and they took him out, and they put Bruce in, and Bruce came in, and, he did his thing, man. He did his thing, and they won. They beat the Rams.
As always. He was a pretty clutch quarterback, man.
Yeah.
When called upon, Yeah, I remember he did. There was a couple games I can remember that he did his thing.
Yeah, Bruce Gradkowski, that's a name that's like, he's very popular with, Raider fans and everything, because he's the guy that not only did that, I think his most memorable moment was that Pittsburgh game.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a very funny story about. Yeah.
You want to tell it because you love that story so much.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that game I can remember it was around Christmas time. Must have been right after Thanksgiving, and of course the Raiders were horrible. I think that season we might have been, I don't remember, maybe like 5-6 wins or something like that.
Shit.
And maybe not even that many, right, bro?
I mean, I think we were like 4-12 that year, and I think that Pittsburgh one was our last win of the year, I think.
I think so, but the funny part comes here. Well, everybody knows on Sundays, especially for Raider football, we all get together and, we barbecue, we have a couple beers, and nothing gets in between the game. Well, my stepdad, Juan, your dad, for some odd reason, wanted to put up the Christmas lights, like right in the middle of the game. And all I remember is he's out there with the ladder, like looking through the window, like, "Hey guys, we're gonna get started." And I just remember saying, like, "Juan, I swear, give me 15 more minutes. As soon as this game is over, we're on those lights, man." Because it was such an intense game. And another backstory, since we didn't win much in those years, I remember coming home the next day and watching the replay again. It was that good of a game. Great game.
Yeah, that Raider Pittsburgh game when Bruce, threw that touchdown again to, I guess, his favorite target at that time was Louis Murphy. Yeah. I mean, that was just his favorite target, I guess. And it's like, oh, well, he's going deep. Well, there's only one guy, and it wasn't Darius Hayward-Bay. It was freaking Louis Murphy. And he came through. I mean, Bruce and Louis Murphy that day really came through that day. That was...
Yeah. I can still see it in my mind right now when he caught it, when he put his arm up in the air. I'll never forget it. Wow, that was an amazing touchdown, and to beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, right? It was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it was at Pittsburgh. Yeah, and it was
for some odd reason. I know that this is a throwback about the Rams, but just to go back to the whole Pittsburgh thing, I can honestly remember always having Pittsburgh's number. Like, I can only remember them beating us once or twice, but we've played them way more times, and we've just had their number. I don't know why.
I've never understood that either. I mean, I've never understood why, no matter the team, no matter because we were terrible. Every time we faced Pittsburgh, we were terrible. I mean, just bad. And I never understood why, like, Big Ben just had a rough time against the Raiders. Like, I never understood that.
Right, and we should talk about that more one of these days and bring up a couple games, because there were some very memorable games. I mean, the Terrell Pryor, the 99-yard run on the first play of the game. Remember that?
I remember that one. I also remember the Sunday night. Well, back then, Sunday night was on ESPN, and I remember the Charlie Gardner run against the Steelers, where he was just bouncing off everybody, juking everybody, and the Raiders, they manhandled the Steelers that day. I remember a couple times the Steelers winning, but for the majority of my lifetime, I mean, it's always seems like, for whatever reason, the Raiders just pull it off at the end. I don't understand how that happens. And it's like, dude, Pittsburgh had some, like, amazing teams when we played them, and it just seems like, why are they having such a hard time against? Like, I never understood that. To the life of me, I will never understand that.
Yeah, we just have their number, man. Like, I could remember one time, I want to say we were still in the little house in Pomona, where we did a big barbecue because we were gonna play them. I think it was a 99-yard run where they beat us on that one, or we might have won that one.
No, we won that one. That one we won because I remember last second, here comes Seabass, kicks it up the upright, no time left. All right, game's over. Raiders win. And it's like, what? Yeah, It's weird. I don't know what it is about, the Steelers just was always having a hard time against us. I'll never put my finger on it. I'll never understand why, but we'll talk about that another day. Today it is Throwback Thursday because, as you know, last year was our last year in Oakland.
Don't remind me.
I know, man. I know, but I mean, hey, they get a brand new stadium in Vegas, man, and it looks beautiful, man. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, I know. I'll have to get used to it though.
And then, once upon a time, the Rams, were part of St. Louis for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I could remember, kind of, just kind of like when they moved over there. Certain things I remember from the Rams being out there. I remember the what was it called? The Greatest Show on Turf.
Yeah, that was kind of. Yeah, that was like.
There was 2 Super Bowls, right? Or was it 2 Super Bowls back to back? They won one and then lost the next one to the Patriots, correct?
Yeah, they beat the Titans, which is still to me one of the best Super Bowls ever because it only took one. I mean, the game was decided by 1 yard. Honestly, it was.
Yeah, that's the best Super Bowl. I always say that. That's my favorite Super Bowl of all time.
Yeah, the Rams Titans was a good Super Bowl, and then the following year, what it was them in '99. Then in 2000, it was Baltimore. Then in 2001, it was the Rams again. So, I mean, that 2001 was the Baltimore one because they won it in '99 and then 2000.
Was it the Raiders? Wasn't the Raiders against Tampa in 2001?
No, 2001 was the Patriots and Rams. 2002 was the Tampa versus the Raider one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
my mistake. But yeah, I do remember a couple things about when they moved. I remember when everybody from St. Louis, like all the rappers and stuff, I think it was Nelly and all those guys, started coming out with all the fresh Rams jerseys, the gold. Remember they switched from the yellow and blue to the gold and blue?
Oh, yeah, that very dark gold or whatever that thing was. I don't even know what that was. It was like a very dark gold, but I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they moved away from. I mean, I think they only played that in like 1 year. I think they only kept the blue and yellow for like 1 year, and then the following year they're like, nope, we're getting a new uniforms. Here you go.
Right.
And they really didn't come back into the blue and yellow until they really came back from LA. So it's like, it's not that it was a new uniform. It's just they just came back with the LA uniform. That's all they did.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Now that I think about it, it's kind of funny because out of all the teams that moved, which would be the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Rams, kind of like in this last little, time, the least team talked about that was moving was the Rams. If you think about it, everybody gave a bunch of crap to the Chargers for moving to San Diego to LA. And of course, the Raiders moving to Vegas was like a big old debacle. But nobody really said anything when the Rams left St. Louis, right?
No, I think what it was more on the St. Louis side. I think what it was more of the the city of St. Louis really, kind of making it. Well, I mean, it was going to be a big deal because what it was at the time was, the city of St. Louis didn't want to put up the money